Aloha everyone, what's going on my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video, we're going to be talking about archaeology because a bunch of information was revealed in the latest live stream, so let's check it out.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
So while we're discussing for today's video, in the background you're going to be seeing basically a little mini tour of one of the dig sites, Everlight. Keep in mind this is just the surface. There are some underground areas and I think there are underwater areas as well. So what you're going to be seeing today is just a small portion of the entire dig site, and it's just one of several dig sites with this skill. That said, let's start off by saying that the archaeology skill is going to be coming out on the 30th of March, just about a month from now. So we now have an official release date, which is really exciting. You can mark your calendars, prepare for it, and now we're no longer in the dark. We know exactly when it's going to come, so we can get hype and excited and ready, etc. All that good stuff. So this skill is, as you would imagine, very lore heavy for people who are really interested in the lore, etc., especially around the God Wars and what happens around those times and the relationships between the gods and their followers and the kinds of artifacts, materials, etc. they used in those times. It is far more intertwined with the lore than any other previous skill in the game. Dungeoneering, for example, did go into a pretty decent amount of the lore, but Mod Osborne on stream did boast that archaeology will be 10 times more than Dungeoneering. So that is exciting. If lore is not your forte, there's still obviously going to be a bunch of things for you to sink your teeth into in regards to the archaeology skill. Those of you who are into PVM, there's obviously the ancient summoning. We've learned about this, where we learned about the various different types of demons you can summon and the kinds of attributes associated with each demon type. So that'll be very interesting. We also got Invention. There's Ancient Invention, I believe is going to be associated with the Armadale dig site. A whole bunch of slew of different gadgets you'll be able to get your hands on. But actually last week or so, Mod Ryan did put out a tweet showing off the new Gizmos, where you can add a total of 9 different components to the gizmo to get various different new combinations, etc. And he did show off Biting 4 is possible. So if you're looking to get that, you're going to want to stock up on your noxious components ahead of time. And it is interesting that what was previously a tier 3 perk at its highest is now boosted to a tier 4 perk. I don't know if tier 5 could go up to tier 6 for perks that go up to 5. It could potentially mean an Aftershock 4. I do not know, but at least Biting 4 is officially going to be a real thing. So that will be very interesting to see the new combinations that we're going to have to create and discover in order to get the new best setup for our gear. Obviously, this is not just for PVMers because you're going to probably be able to find cool new combinations for your invention tools as well to help you in your skilling. Now, next up, I'll briefly talk about Relics. This is another big reward space, or at least the primary reward outside of what we have already mentioned in this video. On RuneFest, they did give a large list of relics and their different kinds of attributes. You can only have several of these active at once, so that gave them the ability to really push the overpoweredness of some of these. They did say that some on that original list from RuneFest are not making it into the final builds, and they've also added some since that list. The total at launch will be between 25 and 30 different relics, but again, you can only have a small portion of them active at any one given time. So come March 30th, when the skill launches, there will be no requirements whatsoever to get started in the archaeology skill. That does mean that the skill is also available for free to play. The vast majority of the skill will be still members because for free to play it will only extend to level 20, but that is a fair amount for free to play players to sink their teeth into the skill and get a decent understanding of how the skill is going to operate, and also maybe entice them to making the push to membership. Also, if we're talking on launch, there's going to be a total total of 5 different dig sites associated with the various different, 5 main god factions in the original God Wars dungeon. We have Zaros, Saradomin, Zamorak, Armadale, and Bandos. And they did say that the dig site next to Varrock does kind of act as a 6th one, but it's more of like an introductory into the skill as opposed to a fully fleshed out one like the other 5 are. And that's not to say that they won't make any more than these 5 dig sites after launch, because I do believe there is one in the works to be placed on Anachronia. I'm not 100% sure, but that's definitely a possibility for the longevity of the skill. In terms of training the skill itself, it's very hard to say in terms of the types of XP curves you can expect to feel as you're training through the level bands. That is particularly because the skill acts as both a gathering as well as a productive skill. On top of that, there are even more additional meta ways to train the skill that are unlike any other current skill. There are moments of grind, which give you a lot of downtime, AFK, and more relaxed times. Then you might come across a whole new area once you reach a certain level, and everything feels all new again, and exploration becomes the more central focus of your training. Then once you learn more about the new areas, you might fall back into the more AFK style of skilling that we're accustomed to. Basically, the way you train and interact with the skill seems like it's going to be changing periodically depending on how far or how much you've uncovered at any one given dig site, which has got me very curious to see how that's actually going to pan out in actual gameplay. It really seems interesting and exciting, and I'm really excited. Like I said, it's only about a month away, and then we're all going to be jumping right into it. They did say that there will be some kind of like pre-updates that kind of like whet our appetite for Archaeology. I don't know exactly how intricate or how minuscule they're going to be, but in the coming weeks we can expect to see some kind of little teasers towards the skill that will actually be live in-game before launch. Anyways, that pretty much sums up all the new stuff that was discussed in the latest live stream. Leave a comment down in the description below what you think of what we've learned today with the new skill. How excited are you? Are you somebody who's going to try to race for that 99 or that 120? Are you somebody who's just going to try to gun it all the way to the point where you can unlock, for example, the ancient summoning or the invention and test out how they're going to change your combat scenarios? Whatever the case may be, love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to wrap up the video there. If you'd like to hit that like button, if you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you watching. I am out. Aloha.